Yeah, obviously really happy with the outcome. Our guys played great for 4 quarters, and we knew it would be a 4-quarter battle. Offense, defense, and special teams. We needed to win all 3 phases to have an opportunity, and obviously offensively we were able to rush the football, and that was something that was so critical for us. We rushed for 150 yards and had it in 41 attempts. So that was something that we knew it was going to be hard to run the football, but we had to be able to establish a run. And then defensively, our biggest key was not to give up the explosive play. And that's something that they were able to get on us on numerous occasions in the first time we played them. And their longest rush was 15 yards. And I thought if we could eliminate the explosive run, we'd have a great chance to have success and get a win. And then special teams, we needed to flip the field. Well, Ben flipped the field all day long. He kept banging it out of the end zone and not giving him a chance to return a kick, and his punts were phenomenal, as they have been for 4 years. And then Bruce making a play. We talked at half. Somebody had to make a play. You have to. This game's about playmakers, and if you have the ability to make a play, you got to do it. And I didn't know it'd be in the first 6 seconds, and it was. And big time run, and so excited for our guys. Our winter camp continues on, so we'll open it up for questions.
Coach, all things considered, the magnitude of the game, the way he played, is that the best game you've ever seen a punter play?
Boy, that's a tough question. It's an expectation that Ben has. It's an expectation that his teammates have, and he loves these guys. He's going to put his best foot forward every Saturday, and that's what we expect from an All-American punter.
Coach, you expect a lot from these guys, but what stood out most to you about this team through 4 quarters of play today?
Our resolve, the fact that they knew it was going to be a 4-quarter fist fight, and it was, and it was never over. And we just had to keep believing and keep the grind going. Our guys, hats off, because they love playing with each other. And this is a close group of guys that didn't want to have this be their last game.
How impressive and how important was the adversity defense after the Darius Anderson fumble?
That was huge to hold those guys to a field goal. I'm sick for Darius because he had a great run, and talked to him after the game. He's still going to be an impact for us, but it was critical for us to hold those guys to 3 and keep it, in that 1-score game.
This is for Chris and Nick. 3 points and 71 yards allowed in the second half. Is that as good a defensive half as you played all year, or were you breaking?
It was as good a half of football, and I know we didn't put up a bunch of points, but we were able to hold on to the football in the second half and get off the field on defense. We said we needed to have our best 30 minutes of the season, and I thought we did, even though you don't see that in points, but holding on to the football as well as I thought our staff on defense did a phenomenal job with the game plan. And then you can give them the game plan, but these guys have to execute it, and they did it.
Bruce, how'd you spin out of that on the kickoff return?
Oh, I don't know. I'm still trying to gather that right now. But it was great blocking. Coach told me how to make a play. Like always, there's going to be the safeties on block, so you just got to make a play, and that's what I did.
The tackling, I think in that first game, that's some big plays, some missed tackling. Just talk about how you feel the defense overall tackling.
Yeah, definitely. Our main focus for the game was to stop the run, and I think we did a good job. And we really focused on tackling from the previous time we played. We left some plays out on the field, and we thought we just had to stop the run game and limit the big play. And I think we did a good job of it.
Ben, the Georgia Southern game was maybe your best up until today. Did you have a feeling today going in, or describe why you kicked so well today?
I know we shouldn't have been thinking about it, but I saw that Illinois State went down last night, and I knew we'd have the opportunity for another home game in the Fargo Dome, and I think any senior could speak for it. We don't want to let it go. So, just have that back in my mind that we want to get another game at home, and I guess that was the motivation today.
Yeah, Chris, speak to that. You had all the angst over the brackets and the pairings and all that, and you end up with a home semifinal game out of it all anyway.
We didn't talk about what happened yesterday with Illinois State losing until after this game, but no question, we're excited about giving our fans another opportunity to cheer these guys on. It's a great atmosphere. Our fans were a huge difference, just like they were last week against Montana. They had a tough time getting some of their plays off, and our fans, our hats off to them, because there was, I think, 3 or 4 times where they had illegal procedures and false starts just due to our fans. So it's great to be able to play at home one more time, especially with finals week.
Did you notice the intensity of the crowd? I don't know if you noticed these things, but after that, the inadvertent whistle call, things seem to get ramped up a little bit.
It really did. I agree. And I still don't know what happened on that, but no, our fans were in it after that and then stayed in it the entire 4 quarters.
And inside those kicks you try to pin deep, they have a different spin on it or something? Do you do it different? Or?
Yeah, for a punt where we're trying to pin him inside, I hold the ball vertically up and down, and then you kind of hit the bottom of it so it'll rotate like a kickoff versus hitting a spiral to come turn over. And it's just because when it hits the ground, it's supposed to bounce up or bounce backwards. So yeah, it's just you hold it vertically instead of horizontally.
Show up on Mondays, it doesn't always bounce back.
Talk about the safety rule again. Do you feel defensively you got to take it? Do you feel, I don't know, when Ben does something like that, because of defense, you have to take advantage or use that field position edge when something like that happens?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Anytime we can pin an offense that, close to their own goal line, that's huge. I mean, we just build off of that, and I mean, obviously the crowd loves it. They get into it too, and we just try and hold them down there.
You had a pretty good vantage point for that safety. What did you see from Brian on that play, and then what was the reaction like after you knew it was a safety?
Yeah, he looked like he just shot through the gap. He always says no one's running through his gap, so he ran through there and just made a play, and just opened up for him.
Chris, I just want to ask real quick. It seemed like the offense always got into that 35-yard range, and then things would kind of go awry, and then you had to make the decision between punting and field goal. How do you go about that?
Well, I probably was greedy on the first one because I had Polasek yelling in my ear because we had it inside the 25, and then it just kept going backwards, and it was Tim and I probably screaming at each other, and then and he was more screaming at players and stuff, typical Tim stuff. And I said, we've got to try to get 3. I wanted somehow to get to 17 because the one score was worrying me, and I thought if we had a touchdown lead, our defense would play, more at ease, so to speak. But so we missed the first one, and I thought he had enough leg on that one, even though that was 54 yards. And then the next one, Ben punted it and got it down there. And then when we got the ball back at the 35, I said to Tim, do whatever you can. We're going to try to make a 50-yarder because this is a tough defense to run against. And I was just trying to get to 17, and it didn't work. We ended up getting to 21, but couldn't get to 17.
269 yards of total offense. You guys have put up way more than that to win a lot of football games this year. How indicative is that of how tough it was out there, that it was 269 to 221 of total offense? How hard was it to move the ball out there? How tough was this defense that you were facing?
Well, the defense, credit to the defense. I mean, they came out ready to try to stop the run. We just, coach always tells us 1 more yard. When it's blocked for 3, get 5. When it's blocked for anything, and just keep going up front. Then later we're going to break out. And like King did, his longest was a 51-yarder. And that's our mentality going into the game, to just keep pounding, then we're going to break one.
Ben, I know it's your goal to stick those deep, but the feeling you get when you actually do, when you see that ball down on the 1-yard line, what's that like?
It's unbelievable. Anytime I can help my defense out and put them in a good position to possibly score points as a safety, it's unbelievable. And credit to Coach Polasek, Fish, the long snapper. He was on point today. And then the coverage team, that was unbelievable. I think one time I told them, I was like, guys, if it's coming down in the air, catch it in the air. We have forgot to do that sometimes this year. And, I saw a bunch of young guys on that punt coverage team. You guys all saw them with me today grow up right in front of our eyes. There's a lot of young guys on that team, and they showed up today. So, I mean, I can put the ball where it is, but when it comes down to it, they got to make the play.
What was it like, Ben, ESPN interview time for Punter?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but as Anish said, it's the first time they've ever done it, so honored to be the first one. But I guess, it's just a credit to everybody around here, the importance we stress on special teams every day, the importance that we've stressed on special teams my whole career here. It's a game changer, we know that, and you saw it today.
Coach, talk about the 90-yard drive, the one big drive put together. I mean, how were you able to do that, and how important was it at that juncture to do something?
Well, we thought we were getting some pretty good movement up front, and then, like Bruce said, just trying to churn out the extra yard here and there so we could keep moving the chains. You don't see very many games where one team has it for 54 and the other one only has it for 58. That's such a low play count for both teams. But the one big difference that I see in the statistics, we had it for 31 plus and they had it for 28, but in the first half I looked at it and I didn't like where we were at. They had it for 18 and we had it for 12 at halftime. In the second half we flipped the script. I think Matt Ince told me we were only on the field for 9 plays in that third quarter and we were fresh in the fourth. But when we were able to hold on to that and make the big drive, that was critical. And the other thing was holding those, even though they took it down, holding those guys to a field goal. And we just told those guys, you can't let them get a touchdown. 21-13 I felt okay with because I still knew they had to get an awful lot with a 2-point play, and we could hold those guys to a field goal, and we did it. And even though they moved it down, our defense stiffened up.
What did they do differently this week against Bailey? Last time out, he had over 100 yards in this one half. This time, 33 yards rushing the entire game.
That's Nick.
I mean, I think we just did a good job. We had a great game plan for him. We knew he was going to try and come in and run it a lot. And, just try to keep him in the pocket as much as we could and just limit the big play. That was really a huge focus this week. And, their longest run was 15 yards. So, we did a good job of that.
Nick, you said earlier this week that a lot of his success in the first game was stuff that you guys could correct, missing your fits and whatnot. And you obviously did that. I'm wondering how good it feels to know that you can accomplish it and see the result when you do.
There's no doubt he's a great player, and they have a really explosive offense. So, whenever we can, have a great day like that and limit those plays, that's huge.
Coach, what did you see from Easton on a day where maybe things weren't going as well offensively?
Kept his poise. And I think he played a really good football game, and he ran hard when he needed to run hard. He was 13 for 17, no interceptions for 116 yards. He was pretty doggone efficient.
First, twice in a row now, returning on a kickoff for TD. Is more explosive, more confident last couple games?
Yeah, I think it's confidence. I trust the guys up front like every week, but I just think I'm gaining more confidence with it, and I'm just able to hit it a lot faster and just be explosive with it.
Chris, a lot of people are saying this was a national championship game. What do you think?
It was a quarterfinal game.
You've been here 5 years. You've been in the semifinals all 5 years. Your thoughts on that?
Pretty remarkable, but hats off to our players and the coaches because it's really hard to do, and I know it's an expectation, and I wouldn't change that for anything. We want that high expectation, but you ask these guys, the grind that we put these guys through the winter, through the spring, through the summer, to the fall. I know it's an expectation for us to be here, but doggone it, it is hard. Ask Northern Iowa. It is hard to get to this, and this game could have gone either way. And I thought Bruce really made a big determining change in that game, and then we got a little momentum. But guys, it is unbelievably hard to do what we've done for 5 straight years.
Can you talk about what this game is like? You and I, people said just that they have so much respect for you guys. What's this game like every time you guys play?
Go ahead, Ben. What's it like as a specialist?
Whenever you get a Missouri Valley team in the regular season or the postseason, you know that it's going to be a dogfight, and it always is. You go back to the past 4 or 5 years we played Northern Iowa, whether it be a one-score game in the last second or a loss like we took there last year, it's always going to be a fight. Credit to the coaches, the offense, the defense, and everybody for just having a good game plan and knowing it's going to be a dogfight. 2 Missouri Valley teams, like I said, they meet any time of year, and you're going to have a good game, and we were fortunate enough to come out on top today. Like Coach Klieman said, could have gone either way.
Chris, the onside kick, pretty unique onside. Have you seen anything like that before? Are you surprised?
No, I wasn't surprised. It was probably my fault. I probably should have realized because they've done that when I was there in the past too. I didn't notice that they had put Hall over there, and they did a nice job sneaking him out there. And they did a great job, and the kid kicked it well, and he just stepped out of bounds. We were looking because we were going to call timeout if we thought it were an onside kick. And the way the ball was tilted, Schmidtke did a great job. You couldn't tell, and that's my fault. I should have called timeout and gone to our hands team. I couldn't, and I didn't know that Hall was on the other side. That kid's a phenomenal player. He'll play on Sundays.
Take maybe one last question if there is one, otherwise we'll wrap up. Chris, if for any of the players, can you talk about the respect a little bit for each team? Because I noticed a lot of big hits, a lot of tapping of each other's helmets after that, helping each other out.
Not only that, but the respect for the Missouri Valley Conference. Everybody knows it's going to be a hard-fought game. Everybody knows that everybody's going to give their all. And you're right. We battle them in recruiting. We battle them every year on the field. Everybody knows how physical a game it's going to be. And you can tell that with the amount of rushing attempts both teams had, as well as few of plays. It was just field position and who could land a knockout punch. And we had great field position with Ben. Defense did a nice job, and really Bruce hit the knockout punch.
Any injuries or how do you come out of the game?
I think we're okay. We'll find out. You know, somebody will come up with something tomorrow because they go home and realize, holy cow. But I'm anticipating, like probably all you guys are, that it'll be on Friday, and that's kind of what we believe. And so it'll be a short turnaround, and our kids have finals, and they've got a lot on their plate this week, and we have to be able to get them fresh and get them ready to go.
When did you decide that Carson couldn't go?
Yesterday. It just he pitched it around some during the week, but he wasn't ready.